点上班，快说！站起来！
情况不容乐观一点啊，不是刮风。
我知道，你别动，先别动，先别动，先别动，先别动。哦，这车等翻了，要翻要翻，我会。
旁边没那个车，它就翻掉了。
去死啊！我操！多多安也去。
At around 7:30 a.m. on September 16, Typhoon Bebigat hit along the coast of Lingang New Town, Pudong, Shanghai. Typhoon Bebinca continued to move west-north and its intensity gradually weakened. After passing Jiangsu and Anhui, it is expected to enter Henan and gradually weaken into a tropical depression, bringing continuous wind and rain. Affected by this, from the 16th to the 18th, there will be heavy to heavy rain in northern Zhejiang, southern Jiangsu, Anhui, and Henan. There will be heavy rain in some areas. The cumulative rainfall will reach 30 to 60 millimeters, in some areas 70 to 120 millimeters, and locally 150 to 150 millimeters. Before landfall, the intensity of Bebinca did not weaken offshore and almost landed at its peak intensity. Huang Yu told reporters that in the past, the intensity of typhoons when they landed in mid-latitude areas was relatively weak, and most of them were severe tropical storms and tropical storms. It is known that the intensity of Bebinca was maintained well when it landed, firstly because it passed the Zhejiang Islands before landing, and secondly because the sea temperature conditions were also relatively good. Compared with the typhoons that landed in my country in the same period in history, Bebinca has the characteristics of high intensity, fast movement, small size, etc. Its path and intensity changes are more flexible, and it is more difficult to predict its course.
我知道，你别动，先别动，先别动，先别动，先别动。哦，这车等翻了，要翻要翻，我会。
旁边没那个车，它就翻掉了。
Typhoon affects Mid-Autumn Festival moon viewing, travel, and agricultural risks require special precautions. This is the Mid-Autumn Festival holiday. What impact will Bebinca's landing have on moon viewing in related areas? Huang Yu introduced that on the evening of the 17th, western Zhejiang, central and western Jiangsu, and northern Jiangsu will still be affected by the typhoon's edge cloud system, and the conditions for moon viewing are not ideal optimistic, but there may be convective activity in some areas. This affects going out to enjoy the moon. Huang Yu reminded after the typhoon do not easily get involved in some low-lying and waterlogged areas in the city. Some areas with many high-altitude facilities, such as billboards, telephone poles, tall trees, old exterior walls of buildings, and glass windows, etc., may be at risk of being blown off by strong winds, so beware of falling objects from high altitudes after the risk points such as the coast are damaged. Wait for relevant personnel to check and eliminate the risks in advance. Approaching old houses in rural areas should also check their walls and roofs to avoid collapsing and injuring people in mountainous areas. It is necessary to pay attention to the geological conditions of the surrounding mountains, pay attention to early warning information of geological disasters, and prevent subsequent disasters such as landslides. Therefore, people in areas where a typhoon has just passed are not advised to go out to climb mountains or go to the seaside to admire the moon. The impact of heavy rainfall and strong winds of Bebigat is not only limited to coastal areas, but will also pose a serious threat to agriculture in inland areas. According to Song Yinbo, heavy rainfall can wash away ridges, cause fertilizer and water loss, and flood first-season rice, corn, soybeans, and other crops. Strong winds can also easily cause corn and other tall crops to fall, stem plants and fruit trees, fruit cracking and fruit falling, collapse of greenhouses and fishery facilities. The damage can easily lead to the spread and development of migratory pests such as rice leaf rollers. Song Yinbo suggested that areas that will be affected by the typhoon's residual system should immediately harvest ripe vegetables and fruits, collect marketable aquatic products, clean ditches as soon as possible, and carry out drainage preparation to strengthen greenhouses and fruit trees, and if necessary take measures such as removing the shed membrane and removing the cover to reduce damage to the greenhouse caused by strong winds. After the wind and rain, local people should discharge the accumulated water in the fields as soon as possible, reduce soil moisture, and apply fertilizers and pesticides in a timely manner to enhance the vitality of plant roots and avoid premature crop failure, and repair the damage to the shed lining and fishery facilities to resume production as soon as possible. Although the impact of Bebigat is still being felt, Typhoon number 14 Plasing in 2024 has also occurred. According to the Central Meteorological Observatory, Plasing is currently at the tropical storm level and is developing slowly. It is expected to move northwest at a speed of 20 to 25 kilometers per hour and may further affect the East China Sea in my country and the coastal areas of East China.